Good morning, DJ, Paranormal Response. These are my buddies that sit on the window. Yeah, I like to collect the horror masters. I don't have any Jason there though. The one that I want is really expensive, and it's from the Jason versus Freddy. I don't know why it's so expensive. It was a much later movie. But today I'm going to try a little bit of water ITC with a twist. And we're just going to jump cut all around the place here until I get that set up. I've got a handheld here in my hand. I'm trying out my Canon camera. I seem to enjoy the way it looks. So I'll just show you a couple boxes that I'm working on. This one I think is going to be mine. I'm not sure yet, but I got ideas for that one. Maybe put a glowing tube behind the glass. I'm not sure yet, but that's kind of cool. I've got a couple cigar boxes. Saves a little bit of money for some people, save them about 25, 30 bucks. It's not a huge savings. I mean, what goes into them is still the same amount of money. So we'll just walk around the shop here for a minute. These are some shirts that I've made. We live in an old town that was built in the mid-1800s. It burned down most of it and then they rebuilt it. And what I do is I go back into the records and I look at all those businesses from the 1800s that were up until, the mid-90s that are no longer in business. And if they have logos, cool, I'll copy them. If not, I make something up. And then I make shirts out of them. And we here were the original Santa Claus school. This is where Charles Howard, the first Santa Claus, the guy that you see in all the Macy's Day parades back in the 80s. That's him. He originated here and started the Santa Claus school. And then I got my friends. I'm a huge Kiss fan, although I don't think that they're the most talented. The nostalgia of Kiss still lives on. I'm an 80s fan. And here we've got some more radios. This one might be mine. They all might be mine. I just don't know. When I'm done making it, I'll know which one is really going to be mine. This one was supposed to be mine, but I don't know anymore. Hey, it's not like I keep them all. I share them. A few sold on eBay already, so they're getting a little popular. And here, this place is a mess. We're in transition right now. We've got 2 people staying in here, and this is the screen printing room. What I do here is I create screens. You burn it under a very high wattage lamp, and I use a mercury exposure system, and it burns the image into the screen. You then wash it out and you're left with the negative basically on your screen, which becomes the well for your ink. And you load up your ink into the screen and put your shirt down on your platen and swoop the ink across, and it ends up on your shirt. In my case, it ends up on my hands, on my belly, and everywhere else but the shirt. And this room is high activity. I should probably do a session in here someday. I think they like to watch me work in here. I'm always cold. I feel chills right now. This used to be the office for whoever owned this building back in the 50s. He used to sell vehicles also, and I know a girl that's in this town. She bought her first car here, and we did a little session back here, and they came through and he remembered her, whoever he is. But there's a few spirits here. I know most of their names, and I know who they are. I'm familiar with them, but I still don't know what they all did. And there's a couple guys that I don't know if they're the same guy or if they're 2 separate guys. I don't know if he calls himself Lewis, but I know what his last name is, if you understand what I'm saying. So, maybe he'll come through in our session. It's going to be a very short session. It's more like an experiment, I guess. More like an experiment. Alright, so let me set up and we'll get to it. What you're looking at here is a bloodstone. I'm going to use this today with the ITC. I'm going to use it as like a little paddle for the water, and I'm just going to move the water around. Now bloodstone is a cool cool little stone because they use it to restore the building of the mind and the body. And they say they have healing effects. Well, all stones have healing effects, but this one, as they, I quote it, more epic than others. Its properties are essential healing tool for returning your spirit to its natural state of joy and vitality. So by using this, I'm going to offer it to the spirits to come through into the water, and let's just have a good time with it. I don't want to see no nasty faces. I want to see your happy faces. And if you guys want to come through, I've done it here a couple times before, and I've seen some happy faces. If you want to come through, and I'm going to turn on the radio while I do this. Now, granted, it's only going to be a short, 10-second clip, but we'll turn on the radio for a minute. We'll see who wants to gather around and come through into the water. That'd be pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to stop this again while I set it up. Oh, and the other twist is I'm going to be using a strobe light. So I'm hoping that it'll kind of freeze it a little bit. When I slow it down, it'll slow it down even more so I can catch those images in the water. So somehow I got to figure out how to use 3 things with 2 hands. All right, let me stop this. Okay, I'm back. Check this out. That's my antenna. This is what I have to do in this shop to get any kind of reception. So I'm using my little Sangean radio today. And what I have hooked up here is this high-powered flashlight that I got on... hi, you just said my name. This high-powered flashlight that I bought on eBay. And I bought it for photography because it's so bright. And I noticed that if you hold the button down, you get this cool strobe effect. And what I got here is a little thing of water. And now I lost my stone. I put it down somewhere. So I'm going to turn this off for a second. And I'm going to leave you by the box. I don't have a lot of battery life, so this is going to be kind of quick. Hey, if you guys are willing to talk to the people out on YouTube, they can hear you. Okay, I'm here. We'll start in just a second. So I'm doing this in the window. Everybody already thinks that I'm the town fucking nut here, so why not? Turn the strobe light on and I'll dance. Oh, there's that crazy ghost guy. It used to be every town had that crazy lady that lived alone in the house. She had the dead husband or hundreds of cats. We do it in the open now. Hey spirits, are you here with me today? Who's here with me? You guys have a good weekend? It's Monday. Mondays are a slow day here. I try to get myself set up so that I can be busy every Monday, but UPS never shows. Okay, so what we're going to do here is some little water ITC. You guys are more than welcome to come through if you would like to. I have this bloodstone here, and it has positive properties, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to paddle it into the water like this, back and forth slowly, and I'm going to turn on the light, and if you would come through, I'll give you 10 seconds, the count of 10, to come through and show me your beautiful faces. How's that sound? So if Lewis would like to come through, if Mr. Crenshaw would like to come through, George, you're welcome to come through, Carol, you're welcome to come through. I don't think I've ever seen your face. So please come through. We're going to turn on the light. We're going to get the strobe going. People are driving by looking at me. He's doing that witchcraft in there. Look out, he's doing that witchcraft. All right, you guys, are you ready? On the count of 3, we're going to start for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I hope I didn't get my image in there. I'm kind of standing here to the side. And that's that. It was short and sweet. I hope you guys came through. And I will go through this and I'll post it all up. I'll make sense of all this mess. And we'll call it a video. Thank you guys. Okay, goodbye. It's a really nice radio, by the way. This is my second one. The first one I lost at an investigation at a winery, and this winery had a slave tunnel, and the people that lived in the house, they were a whole family, and they were still living in that time period, and there was war going on outside, you know, in their mind, the way that they were still living, that they were still caught in that time period. And we went out to what would have been the battlefield, and my radio was taken from me. And I was told by somebody who didn't even know that my radio was lost that it was brought to the attic by a man. Now when we walked into that place, the medium felt a presence on the stairs immediately, and the lady that owned the place said that there was a spirit who kind of guarded the place, and he stood on the stairs, and he rarely ever came down the stairs. He would stay at the top of the stairs, and that spirit is the one who took my radio and brought it to the attic. You can believe it or not, but I don't have that radio, and I had to buy another one. Okay, goodbye.